Well, hi there. Hello again. It's your favorite David Oman coming to you from the Oman house. I know I'm a little bit in the dark. Here, let me fix that problem with a little light. Here we go. Yes, I know. I hope this looks and sounds a little bit better than usual. If the hell better, I just spent a few bucks on a new camera system. What, you want me to open the windows behind us? Hey, Stacy. Hey, Locust. Locust. Great. Hey, Pat. I don't know what the hell to do, if I should turn up the lights or not. Happy Labor Day. Hey, Aaron. Yeah, we have to talk, Aaron. After the show, we should talk since it is the first of the month, literally. So I hope, like I said, I look better than usual because this is a new camera setup. Oh, look, it's there. Les is there. Remember Les. Hi, Annie. Moonlight, Lenny. We meet again. Yes, you're on my station. What do you know? Stacy, Pat, I'm trying to catch up to Halls. Wrote stuff. Can't wait till next Monday, Aaron. I've got meetings with the other company, so that we have to get on that immediately. Can't next Monday? No, more like today. To start talking because, like I said, I've got somebody else that I'm working that's interested, and I want to get this thing out immediately. So waiting is not going to be. I don't have the time for that. Sorry. Hi, Kathy Boudreau. No, I'm sorry, Aaron. It's just like I said. I got this other person that's interested. I've been working with them. I've been putting them off, and I have to make. The old thing is I have to decide who's going to be the representative to sell this. And to take this out and get it done. So I don't really have the luxury of time, and I really don't because, of course, I want to get this thing sold in the next couple of weeks. Not much, PJ. How are you? Is this thing working? Let me just double check. Oh, you are working, son of a bitch. I want to just catch up and see who else I missed. Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Concerned. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, see, this is better. This way I can catch up to everybody. There's Loki, say, Les, the difference is Maximum Overdrive is based on a Stephen King novel. That's a short story. Short story. So that's the difference, and it actually saw some success. Where is the bell? You're right. I just heard you guys say, "Where's the bell?" Hold on, let me get the bell. Where's the? Whoa! Where's the REM pod? No, they left the REM pod. They did. They left the REM pod. Hi, Sammy. What do you want, Sammy? No, not now. This said not now. That's just smooth. I'm doing a show. Come on. Hi, Don. Here's the. Hold on, put this. REM pod's downstairs, guys. I'm sorry. So let me get this. Got too many things to juggle and not enough space to put it around. Now I'm like clusterfuck. Times like this, I wish I had a table that was right tall enough table too. Too many things. Well, that's when you usually work for a chef table to work with. I guess he's doing fine. I haven't spoken to him in a day or two. Hello, Dana. How are you? My fave is here. Yeah, but he got all the food last week that we raised money for. So, and by the way, I'm wearing I guess the theme of it's now winter or fall. So this is my spiders falling off my shirt. It was actually a decent movie. I actually liked, Maximum Overdrive. I want to adjust this. It's a little too 4K for me. Get your ass over here. Oh, this is a much better camera. You guys think the camera's better? Pull the chair. Mind you, and sit. No, that's fine. That's good. That's good. I can look right to you guys. So what am I doing for Halloween? No offense with the Rifleman. I have no fucking clue. I'm just being honest. I have no idea. My focus is right now three things, and not in any particular order. Selling the movie, selling the TV doc series based on my book, and just being happy. Brenda's World. I live in New England Falls. New England Falls, my favorite. Oh, New England. And so fall is your favorite time of year. Yeah, well, you get to have the changing of the colors of the leaves. We don't get that crap out here. We get the changing of the color of the sky. It goes from hazy gray in the summer when it gets really smoggy to clear because there's not that much heat. So send Barry over some Tommy's Burgers. He doesn't like Tommy's Burgers. I got him. I forgot what the hell I got him. We got him 3 different meals. The meals were relatively inexpensive. By the time they were done, it was $25 each. With the delivery and the tax. Yeah, they say there's no delivery. There's this other charge. I go, so Barry, what's this charge? He goes, I said, it's a delivery charge. He goes, yeah, well, for all intent and purposes, yeah. I said, no one, they claim free delivery. They just package it and label it something totally different. Hey, Dan, how are you? Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've had this for several years. I mean, I should honestly do a freaking commercial and be a spokesperson for Hard Daddy t-shirts. Hard Daddy shirts. Why do I say that? Because I think I own like 6 different Hard Daddy shirts, and not just 6 different. I also have, of the 6 different, I have multiple 3 of the ghost shirt in the beige and 6 of the ghost shirt in the purple. So that's another, reason why. Hello, Evie. How are you? I live in Connecticut. Beautiful in the fall. Of course, the East Coast has the changing of the seasons. The leaves are changing colors. And oh yeah, speaking of changing colors, today is the last day of this mop. I've been wearing this. When I say this mop, I'm getting my hair cut. No, it's not a wig. I meant this mop. My hair has turned into a freaking mop. It's too fucking long. So I'm going to my guy tomorrow and having it cut. It's so unmanageable. I hate it. And especially when it's pitch season and you have to get especially looking really dapper and clean cut for pitches to networks. This just doesn't cut it. I'm sorry. This is just out of control. I had it cut like 5 months ago and it just grows like a weed. So I'm going in tomorrow to get it trimmed out. The weekend was, oh God, all right, thanks. Thank you so much, Dan, for bringing me forward and focusing on that. Yeah, Hard Daddy would be a great sponsor. Give me one. Dana, when you come out here, I'll give you a purple shirt, okay? A purple ghost shirt. It's in a large, men's large. I'm sure you'll fill it out just fine. Oh shit, Virginia, why did you have to get 2 blood transfusions? Bleeding gastric ulcer. Oh my God. Oh, Virginia, I'm so sorry. Now, they're not ringing any bells tonight. So far now. Why, like Brenda said, I hope you feel better. I should tell Sean, very funny, very amusing. No, I haven't gotten to that point, Les. I'll wait until I lose my hair before I go do that. My hair doesn't look bad? Nah, Sonny, it needs to get cut. I do it look, it grows back like a weed, thank God. But no, I'm definitely getting it cut. Oh, that's so nice, Dana. I'm so happy to hear that. That'll be just close enough for me. Well, I hope you do feel better and you get rid of the causation of the ulceration in your stomach there, Virginia. Oh, I'm glad. Kathy, I hope you've enjoyed my videos. Not the live ones, but I mean the other videos. Oh, Donna, thank you for mentioning. You can get a copy of this book, Ghosts of Cielo Drive. Here, let me hold it up properly so it's not being disrespected. At the title, ghostsofcielodrive.com. That's right. Ghosts of Cielo Drive, just like it's spelled. If that thing can zoom and focus. And you can get yourself a copy. It's vis-a-vis PayPal they take. And we'll sign a copy and ship it out for you as soon as possible, like first thing in the morning. Yeah, Aaron, if you want to, tomorrow's Tuesday. Sure, I have nothing. Yeah, let's call me after the show and we'll talk about this. Hold it, Sean, they already. Oh, what was that? You stop that. Sean, they already do it. It's his published books. Well, wait. Pad, what? Sean, they already do it. It's his published books. I'm trying to catch up with what you said. I'm trying to catch up. Stop. Good to see you. Thank you, Concern. Good to hear from you as well. No sweat, Pad. Oh my God, Les. That's horrible. Well, I could care less what he does. Hey, Don. Evening to you, too. Well, it's cooled off. The temperature certainly the hell has. And I apologize for not bringing you in on Saturday night. That was just, I'll tell you what I did do. I set up the camera, my cell phone, and I did the TikTok live, and I walked the fuck out of the room. You're gonna say, why'd you do that? Because you guys want me to be on camera. You guys don't want me to sit there and just like, all right, here's the omnipotent view of the investigation. Where in TikTok, they want that stuff. They want to stupidly see the stuff that's going on. And not stupidly, it's just this stuff was going on was just like they were doing the Ouija board. I said, we're using the Desmers. I'm not going to be a partaking in this crap because I don't like that. To me, it's kind of dull and boring. So they were doing it and they had fun with it. And then later on in the evening, the guys from what was that? One second. Okay, they're not ringing the bell. They're doing other crap. Why do I say that? Because Domino is sitting. Where the hell's Domino? Right, Domino is right there, sleeping, curled up on the piano bench. Ricky's curled up over there on the gosh darn sofa. And Sammy's sleeping over there in the dining room. And nobody's awake. So nobody's walking around and making those cockamamie noises. That is my electric litter robot 3, but that's different. Wow, that's just so as I was talking about the people that were here on Saturday night, late night, at about 10:30, my friend Tim, here, let me get Tim's thing. Here, bear with me 1 second, folks. Tim Roddy's podcast. He brought some people over, and he had some people some friends of his from GAG. You're gonna love this. Gays and Ghosts podcast came over, and they had the they had stuff happening here with them. And I was like, you guys, they were going through it. And one guy said that they have it on thermal. I kid you not, on the thermal imaging camera. The guy says, somebody's grabbing my arm like this, but it's a very comforting sensation. But I feel them. He says, he's described as like somebody's grabbing their arm, just like this in a comforting way. And he said, they took the thermal, and on the thermal, you can see this discoloration of the colors changed. Right where he said there was a hand on the arm was this discoloration of the temperature reading. Excuse me. Then, when he was in the third level, going into, there's Samantha, she got up. All right, good girl. They said he was going into the earthen wall room, and he said, I felt somebody there, a person, not a familiar friend, but like just a person standing there. The guy with the thermal imaging camera, my thermal imaging, pointed at the thing, and he said, oh my God. And they have a video of this figure where there was nobody standing. You see him, and the colors are one set of colors, and then you see next to him, which was a colder set of colors, this outline of a figure. And I'm like, I said, you guys have got to get in touch with me and get me that video footage. I said, I got to have that. So I don't have it right now. I'm waiting to get it, but it was crazy. Dances, a lot of people actually pinch and zoom on YouTube so people could zoom in. All right, here it is. Here's the book. So it's ghostsofcielodrive.com. I hope that works. Does that work, Dan? Where's the bell? Bell's right here. Oh, you guys can't see, son of a bitch. You turn this, you stooge. There. Now you can see. Z bell, Z here. It's a limited series intended to run for many. Well, yeah, Annie, limited series just means that the subject matter doesn't need 13 episodes. That's what we're talking here. Damn, this thing, please work. So that's the reason why it's limited. All right, let me just catch up to this. All right. God, you guys wrote a lot of stuff. Holy crap, I have a lot of stuff to catch up on. A lot of you can actually pinch and zoom. All right. It's a limited series intended for, what are you going to write in mind? This is what I'm going to write. That is yet to be written, Dana. Hey, Donna. Patriarch Baggins TP, yeah. Spirits, ring the bell. Spirits, Virginia Risotto wants you to ring the bell, please. Kathy, I thought you were in Connecticut. Yes, I'm in Texas, have a daughter in Southern Cal, wanting us to return home. She's kind of crazy. Scary cat. You mean a scaredy cat? Not a scary cat. Scary cat. She's a scary cat. That's okay. I had some scary cats, so don't have them anymore. Hold on one second. I gotta fix this gosh darn thing. Yes, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. You difficult piece of crap. You just do your thing and work for me, baby. Work. No, don't do that. Just work. All right, we're gonna try this again. Hopefully this will work. So you're in Texas now, okay? Wait, no, come on. Yes, he does. Calls him over. Oh, that's terrible, Pad. Reggie's sleeping. I'm just trying to catch up to everybody's comments as quickly as I can. I don't know what the noise was. That's what I said. It's Z-A-K for Zach, by the way. It's not C-K. At least you can spell his name, spell it right. Sounds like a toilet. James Z. Yeah, they never found the car, though, Annie. The car is still to this day missing. Little bastard will never see the light of day ever. Well, so far it hasn't. Doesn't mean it won't. Maybe it will turn up in some storage locker. I'm trying to catch up. Will you stop that? Who killed, I think James Dean car killed a tow truck driver. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I wish Kindred Spirits was doing their show. I love them investing. Yeah, they were gonna. She was interested. She never even followed through. See, there's the integrity part that I have. Amy Booney reached out to me. She wanted to see the house and then never followed through with it. Something like that, Les. Yeah. No, they didn't live feed it. They were just here shooting it. Dana Brooks says, "Ring the bell for me. I'm here." I'm sure they care. From who the bell confiscate this evening, I wonder. So, like I said, so they had a great time here. My brain just heard Lisa Kudrow singing Scary Cat instead of Smelly Cat. Don, the mention of that name is enough to just make me cringe. And the name Scary Cat is not it. It's the human name you mentioned, so please don't. David Little Bastard was James Dean's. Yeah, I know who Little Bastard was. I know the car. I know the story of the car. I know about the crash. I got that. Well, that's okay, Kathy. Good evening, Mr. Holmes. How are you today, sir? I remember Taps too. They like you, LOL. Yes, I'm sure they do, Dana. LOL. A man used the engine from James Dean's car. That shouldn't be doing what it just did. Annie, if the car was lost, it's kind of hard to take the engine from it. But the parts, it was about the parts. Yes, the transaxle, they said, was sold off, but that was the spare one. Wasn't even the original. Again, the whole original car that was totaled was lost. Nothing was salvaged from it. That's why they say it's been lost to history. Of course, John. Yeah, really, Dana, we like you too. If I find you on OnlyFans, boy, oh boy. It's sitting in your garage, Galaxy. Classic, just so classic. So it was like I said, it was a late night evening with these guys. They were here till like 1 a.m. They had so much stuff happen. The activity was just crazy that night. It's a classic. No kidding there, Galaxy. How funny. Well, if you want the history lesson, listen to Scott Michaels. He's the man who knows where the bodies are buried and how they got there. Still buffing it out, though. Very funny, Galaxy. They're using an AI-generated James Dean. What would be the benefit of using anything to do with James Dean when the audience of 2025 has about as much clue about James Dean as they do about Columbus? Okay, 75 years or 400 years, not a hell of a lot of a difference. It's longer distance in the time than their spatial concept of what is too old to listen to. And I'm sorry, I just find that kind of, we're going to resonate. It's like, to what end? To where's the benefit? How is that going to feed anybody and make any money? Because the audience of James Dean is probably about 80, 90 years old who remember him. Oh, the fans in across the world that are fans because they know him from the 3 movies he was in. I'm waiting. I just don't see a point in relevancy. Just because you can do it, as you said it, as they said in Jurassic Park, doesn't mean you should do it. Case in point. Is it possible the car is fully restored in a private collection? Les, I doubt it. I really doubt it. I had a little bastard in my garage, but I made him go away. Very funny, Don. Very funny. Supposedly coming in the future. Very funny. Oh. Yeah, well, like I said, I just know some of the story. Scott Michaels knows much more of the story than I. I mean, about the details of the murders and the sequential order and stuff. How they got? Who's gonna? What morbid curiosity is seeing Dean in a movie? They're seeing an artificial intelligence generated piece of material. You ain't seeing James Dean in shit. You're seeing a fake, phony, baloney, 2-bit cardboard cutout talking vis-a-vis BS. I never found AI funny. Oh yeah, speaking of AI, funny. Guess who's going to be terminating their usage of AI? Taco Bell. They found that they had so many complaints and so many fuck-ups. Not Taco Bell, sorry. Jack, I think it was Jack in the Box. It was Jack in the Box that said they were having so many problems today that they're going back to because the drive-through of the AI was making so many errors and so many problems, which is no kidding. It is far from infallible, and it's an expensive, overrated, idiotic, attempt to skirt the funds to make more money when it's really not. It's so stupid. Just use people to do these jobs and stop trying to make money by cutting it off. What is this haunted car list? Les, I have no idea what the haunted car list is. And I've seen Jane Mansfield's car right up to touching it and being on inside of it practically if I wanted to. No, at the end it turned itself off. Dana, you could have one. Cut the crap. Yeah, he's good. Scott's pretty good. I don't believe in the guy that puts out the chaos book. This is why this and this and this and this happened. I'm going, really? It flies in the face of what the gosh darn murderers said. It flies in the face what the witnesses in the area, neighborhood had said as far as what the timing of the gunshots were. So it's kind of problematic when you're flying in the face of everybody's evidentiary evidence from the back in the day and you're crying wolf 45 years after the fact when most of the people involved are dead. See, it's easy to do that when they die. Like the reason why the book Chaos was released was after Bugliosi died. Funny thing about that, isn't it? I call it bullshit. I think Scott has forgotten more about Hollywood than most know. You mean he knows? Pat, I think you missaid that. You think Scott has more knowledge of the past of forgotten Hollywood than most know? Yes. If it's a collector's dawn, it was made after he died. It's not worth the thing. If it was made back in the 50s, like right around the time the movie came out, then it's worth a ton of money. Great. My name isn't David Online though, Les. His list David. There's a list online. Oh, sorry, Les. Really? A list? What cars are on the list? Give me a shout out of which cars are on there. No, I can't. I wish it would take Will you stop it, Dana? Yeah, he's got some. He knows the history, and he's got some fine collectibles. Exactly. Reggie, you okay? What's the matter with you? Lie down. Ray. No, Reggie's right here, and he's. What did you do? You just went out. You went poop and you went pee. What, there's a ghost here? Of course there's a ghost here. You live with them. For God's sakes, 13 years now. What do you think? Oh, God. Don't be such a chicken shit. Where you going? I didn't know anything about Axl singing the song on whose album? You mean what's his face's Downward Spirals? That album? You mean Evie? What's the real Christine car? What are you talking about? That was a freaking book that was written by good old what's his face, by our favorite. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Shit. Not Peter. Manson accused. I don't know anything about it, Evie. Stephen King, thank you, Concerned. I was drawing such a blank. Why would I put you on a timeout, Dana? I'll put you a time. Let's not go there. Annie, they don't care. And furthermore, the actors that preceded them didn't really care. It wasn't, I don't know what to say. It's just like where they lived lots of places. They moved the fuck around. Are you kidding me? They didn't live in one place. It's not like this. Like I said, it's not like this is the actors' alcove. People live all over the fucking place. They didn't live in one little congregated little consortium. They lived all over the place. I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Where actors and actresses were constantly moving. There's some that were in Beverly Hills, there's some in Rancho Park, there was some up in the gosh darn hills of Hollywood. There was some in West Hollywood, above the Sunset Strip, all over the place. And as is the case, old houses have old plumbing, old electrical, and it's more expensive to refurbish the old than just to tear it the hell down and rebuild new. That's why old places, and I know this for a fact, that most of these old places had terrible plumbing and terrible gosh and electrical issues because they were built in a day and age when it was terrible plumbing and terrible electrical. And after 60, 70, 80 years, this crap falls apart. And I know this because my father was a builder. So I've seen lots of houses that were older houses and said, he goes, it's going to be more expensive to redo the entire electrical in this place than it is to save it. I don't know about the story. All right, let's have to look at that later. Yeah, Falcon Lair. Well, Falcon Lair is not going to be there much longer, I can't wait to find out what he does, what Rudy's spirit does after after they demolish the place. That's on the chopping block, apparently. I have not gone up there, but apparently there's a big demolition notification on the front, just like the city requires to build a house. They found a dead actor in the house in where at Falcon Lair? Nah. It was a 68 Plymouth Fury. Really? Wow. I don't have any tours, honestly. I don't really do that anymore. We tried it with this company, American Ghost Walks, and we didn't get that enough response. So we kind of haven't done anything with anybody. My dad used to call those, well, unfortunately, Your dad doesn't know about building because my father was a builder for over 60 years, and I've been in enough houses from the 20s to see how bad it was, that the electrical, and not to mention the fact that it was lath and slats, or slats and lath, which is this type of 1 inch wide pieces of wood that are strips that are probably about a quarter of an inch thick, that are then covered with horsehair and basically plaster, concrete, if you want to call it, for lack of better words, is the worst. And the insulation sucks. Well, they took down Pickfair because goddamn Pia Zadora didn't want Pickfair anymore and wanted to build her own cockeyed mansion. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Yeah, Pickfair was haunted before Pia Zadora pissed on it and took it apart and destroyed it. Really? It's not skimping. It's just a matter of the fact that some of those things need to come down. When you look at how bad, there's no insulation in the walls whatsoever. They are terrible to deal with. The plumbing is absolutely atrocious. And like I said, I lived in an apartment that was built in like 1930. And it was exactly that: slats and lath and horsehair, concrete in the walls, had no insulation. It was horrible. This house was built in 2002. I'm telling you, Pat, like I said, I've seen houses like that. And don't forget, not every gosh darn house in the 20s was built to the highest of standards even then. And 70, 80, 90 years later, 100 years later, yeah, you're going to look at these things and go, we got major problems here, you know. Don't fight Evie and Les. What are you fighting? They're not fighting, are they? Yeah, they're not fighting. Evie and David, dead actor, found at Falcon Lair was. No, Valentino wasn't. He owned Falcon Lair. He died of appendicitis, a busted, well, really, a busted appendix that then went to, what do they call it, sepsis, and he died in a hospital. But he didn't die there. He died in New York, if I'm not mistaken. No, he didn't die there, Les. He died somewhere in New York. And his dog, his German Shepherd, I forgot the name of the dog offhand, was howling when the dog died. That was very painful. No sweat. Desmond Taylor died nowhere near Valentino's house. That was in Hollywood, Silver Lake. Totally different. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. The wiring in my place, oh my God. It was so bad. It was heavy gauge copper wrapped in cotton covering. It wasn't rubberized, it was cotton. So by the time we're talking about 2000, yeah, 2000, I was still living in my apartment. It was like you looked at the wires and you're like, it's a good thing these aren't like crossing and blowing up and starting a fire in the freaking wall. A busted anything from inside sounds like a bad way to. It is, I'm telling you, Galaxy. I've seen a lot of stuff that you couldn't, there's a lot of stuff you couldn't save. Yeah, it's called a mid-century modern, is the style, Purple Door. It's not really a unique style. It started in the 60s. Well, mid-century modern started in the 50s. That's where the term mid-century comes from. But it was a modernistic approach to designing a house or homes. Primarily, I guess you'd say the points of it The characteristics of a mid-century modern is usually a flat roof, open past views, open areas, lots of open space, lots of vaulted high ceilings. Back in the 60s, they used to have like a step down into I forget what you call it, like a living room area. It was like the pit, for lack of a better word, it was called. So they used to have that literally was like on all four sides, you'd step down into this like pit. It'd be like a 10-foot section that was lower than the rest of the room. It was like a focal point. It was like, oh my God. Just trying to catch up. Donna, that's the only place you can buy it is ghostsofcielodrive.com. There shouldn't be any problems with it. Absolutely, Pat. I appreciate that. It was actually the pit. Some of these mid-century modern homes, you'll notice, had shag carpet, and then they had this like step down into this pit area. And I've seen pictures. It's like one that's cracked. It's just so cracked. Dana, you're dirty. Dirty Dana Brooks. No, Bugsy Siegel, the house where Virginia, Virginia, I forgot her name. Virginia, not Mayo, Virginia, whatever. Benjamin Siegel's girlfriend's house is still there, and it was just sold, but it's still there in the flats in Beverly Hills, and there's off the Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, they wanted to tear down the house where Marilyn Monroe died, but so what? This is what I think about that. Who cares? It's a fucking bungalow, and the freaking property is being wasted because this little bungalow has this whole big pad of land around, and the thing that makes it so significant is she died in that house. I guarantee you, in less than 50 years, no one will give a rat's ass, and it will be torn down. Guaranteed. Sorry to break the balls to you, but that's the way the world works. It's just the fact. Look, if they could tear down the Greystone Manor, they'll tear down Marilyn Monroe's death house in a heartbeat, and they will eventually do that. I don't know how to answer that one, PJ. No, I'm not on Clubhouse. To answer your question, Galaxy. You would clean up on that site. Well, it's a property value. That's why. Virginia Hill. Thank you, Annie. That's his house. No, the house is still there, as it was. I'm not familiar with Hearts of Atlantis. Hey, Dom, how are you? Oh, you are squeaky clean, but God, it would be so fun to get dirty with you, Brooks. No, they haven't. They have not torn it down. They want to. First of all, Annie, I don't partake in BS conspiratorial theories of this, that, and the other thing. And furthermore, even if he had visited her there, want to hear my answer to that? Listen closely. Couldn't give a shit. They tore down the goddamn Ambassador Hotel where good old Bobby Kennedy was killed in 1968 at the hands of Sirhan. So really, the fact that this is a place that he was supposedly at, and that's the place that Marilyn died, I don't see any historical significance whatsoever. It doesn't have the value that's like, wow, George Washington slept here. Abraham Lincoln died here. I don't see the value. I'm sorry, I just don't. Yeah, very funny there, Sonny. I read about that as well. Evie, don't mistake for a second history with sensationalism. Got it? There's a big, big difference between one, a fan, and two, history. Fandom and history don't mix. They are not, that doesn't work. Yeah, that's pretty much true there. Which her property, the property where Marilyn Monroe was in Brentwood, yeah, it's worth a freaking very, very, very big piece of, it's a huge piece of real estate because the house sits on nothing percentage-wise. The house sits on about 20% of the actual full extent of the property. That means there's plenty of property to develop and still have plenty of empty space, green space. Yeah, I know about that, but it was also a pretty wickedly disastrous place for the gosh darn heart-shaped pool. Look, again, they tore down Virginia because it was what it was, and that's the facts of life. I'm sorry that it was gone, but it's like, and everybody says this, the only reason why you're saying this is because of Jane's Netflix show. I mean, her daughter's show. Otherwise, no one would be speaking about it because no one would know or care. And the fact it was done over 25 years ago doesn't mean anything. Water well passed under the bridge, as the old saying goes. Virginia, that's the thing. That's life. Yes, you're very funny, Dana. But I'm not going to say it. The gate, they took the gate down, as a matter of fact, Pat. They found the gate sitting in the brushes and the weeds and stuff. I was going to say, well, if that's the case, Mariska, why didn't you just take it and ask them if you could have it and take it home? Since they're having it sitting lying in the bushes and it's part of your history, God, take it. It's your gosh darn relic of your mom's home. Might as well. Otherwise, what's going to happen to it? Thank you for saying that. Right as I was reading that. The restroom became a pilgrimage site. Who cares? What did I say about fandom? Yes, John, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Well, that's the problem. Is it's just, it's well within the ability to develop a beautiful home there. Wes, I don't think so. They did it after the place. Scott probably did the Dearly Departed video long before the house was torn down or while it was being torn down. I'm sorry, Pat. It's just the facts of life here. Nobody likes to think of it. It's just because you're a fan of Jim Morrison doesn't mean that they're not going to tear down the house of the bungalow he lived in. It's still going to happen. Annie, being a fan for somebody doesn't make it any better a point of reference to partake in as saying this is the hill I'm going to put my freaking plant my flag on. Yeah, that's right. The Mansfield bar, Kathy. It's true. They did that. I mean, Annie, it's all great and fine to be a fan of somebody, but that doesn't give you the right to say that this place is historically valuable and it has to be, kept. It's just not the way it works in the real world. Why? Because in a few years, those people's memories and those that are talking about them won't be that significant in the course and scope of those who are alive in the future. And the minuscule portion of people that are fans dissipate over time, where the property still remains a valuable piece of and a commodity. It's not about money. It's a matter of holding on to somebody's memory because that's what that person died, unfortunately, doesn't give you the right to tell those owners of that property what to do. That's what I'm getting at. It's not fair. It's not right for you to do that. So that's all. Hey, Kira. How are you? Yeah, purple, like I said, it kind of, look, a couple of weeks ago, that thing was going off like a gosh darn hotcake. Tonight, the hell knows what's going on. They're on vacation, I guess. Yeah, well, maybe Sunny, you don't know if that was a delayed reaction. Well, where they made the gosh darn records where he lived half the time. He had a bungalow. I'm sure he lived in an apartment there or a hotel there.
That is the funniest thing you've written ever, ever, ever less. That is a 5-star review on that one. I'm not going to repeat it. I can't. Exactly. That's my point, Pat. It's just, the fact that, 100 years after Rudy died, people are still, fans of his. Give it 25 years, that won't be the case. They'll start to dissipate even more. Pilgrim Rock versus the toilet where Lee Marvin took a dump. I'm sure there's many a toilet where Lee Marvin took a dump. I don't get that, Don. Oh, God, very funny, Wes. Very funny. Annie, it's not fair. It has nothing fair. As I learned back in junior high school, life is not fair. The idea that to you it's not fair for them to be able to tear down the place where Marilyn Monroe died, to me it's like, look, who cares? That's where she died. Woof. Is that a place you're going to make a pilgrimage to because she died there? I don't see it as being insulting. I see it as being the other side of the coin is you guys are all being selfish. You're selfish because you're holding on to a place where this person died. It has a little bit morbid connection. Why do you think they destroyed the freaking place where what's-her-face, where Nicole Brown Simpson lived? Because it became a morbid gosh darn curiosity. No offense, but yeah, the people that own the property absolutely have every fucking right to tear it down and do what they want to curb that type of curiosity. I'm sorry. Look, Sharon's house got it done too, okay? So, just remember that. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. I'll sign it and send it out tonight. Thank you, Nicole. I mean, I don't mean to, rain in your parade, but it's like you all have this egocentric belief system that you believe what you believe. But do you ever take a second to actually take yourselves out of the first person, I, this, me, and put yourself into the other person's point of reference, where they're coming from? You guys have got to start to realize there's more than just the eyes that you use inside of your head to see out of and to think from. And that's what's missing in this freaking world, is people are so egocentric. They're the center of the universe. However, if you took your freaking feet out of your shoes and put them in somebody else's shoes and put the other perspective onto you, you'd start to realize it works both ways. You can't have everything you want, and you got to be fair about it and equitable and say, look, they have the right to do this. And yes, it's unfortunate, but in realistic terms, why are we saying that they're wrong in their beliefs of saying, look, this has become too much. I want to put an end to this. I want people to stop making this pilgrimage to see where this person died. Like, it's sacrilege. That's my point. It's unfair to do that to these people. And let's be honest, it's not like you're going to the gosh darn gravesite to wish her well. You're going to the place where she died. Let me just rephrase that. How would you feel if it was your gosh darn friend or relative and that was the place they died, and there were people going there to sit there and oogle and ogle? And that's what the hell they're doing. We call it looky-looing. Awesomeness, but I still eat her. Concerned. What do you mean by that? Wes, you don't know. That could happen. You don't say never could be never, because they certainly did exactly that with Greystone Manor. Okay, so there was plenty of those carvings there. Well, of course we don't need any Gracelands, but I'm just telling you, Hi, Y. Hey, Ghost. That would be, oh, son of a bitch. Tom Roddy put up. I got to see it. I'm going to call his ass up and say, where's the fucking video? I want to, hold on one second, everybody. Let me just It's not Tom, it's Tim Roddy. Close though. What the hell's? Where is this? Oh, that's just lovely. Now I'm in the freaking dark, and the gosh darn thing still isn't working. Listen, you stupid son of a dog, fix yourself. Yeah, I said fix yourself. Here, all right, here we go. It's Tim Roddy. I gotta hold on to me. Whoa, you work. Give me Tim Roddy. Thank you very much. Spirits, call Tim. Yes, call him right now. Tim Roddy podcast. All right, hold on. I'm going to look for this because I did not get this information and I'm supposed to be given that. Oh, wrong number. Sorry. 1 7. Here we go. Don't say anything.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
That's not what I
trying to
want.
reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Tim, it's David Oman. How are you? Somebody on my live feed just said that you've released the video about the house. Call my ass up as soon as you get the message so I can hear what the hell and where it's at so I can see it. Bye. I hope you're right. I the hell hope you're right because it'll be pissing me off if it's not. Thanks, Jacqueline. How many of them? There's 38 of you. Wow. And I've never gone to Graceland. No thanks. There's a house called Garden of Allah. It wasn't a house. The Garden of Allah was basically a big ass hotel is what it was. And it was a group of apartments that were built. It was called the Garden of Allah. Yeah, it was silent film actress owned it. Yeah, she made it into a motel. Right, and then demolished it. It happens, Annie, again. It was old. It's decrepit. Things like this were not built to last 100 freaking years. And it's like, we're not talking about going to the Wild West, but when you look at the construction methods of some of these, Western towns, these homes were built in not, how to say this? They were built in a way that we would not build today, using asbestos and other things. So that's another thing you got to remember. Evie, that's what happens here in the U.S. What can I say? It's really not nice. You ever stay in a house that was 100 and some odd years old here? Then you'll speak otherwise. It's creaky, it's cranky, it's just not the greatest. No, you did not, Dana. You're going to have to give me that. And a spanking. Ghost could give you the link to where it is. It was at least 15 years that I've been sad. What are we talking about, Kira? I'm missing things. Tom? Oh, you got to find it, Ghost. Go find that. There were bungalows, right. It's a bunch of bungalows, right. Why would I use Facebook ads? I can't stand, I'm not going to get into that. Well, hold it. Thank you for interrupting. Sonny, but it was on. I was on. You could see me. Was it on YouTube? Where was it, Ghost? You got to find it. Hey, Ghost, hit Alt-F on your computer, assuming you're using a PC and not a Mac, because I don't know how the Macs work. Go into the history, and you'll see the history of what pages and websites you've gone to, and then you'll find it. I have never been to Broken Hill. That makes sense, Annie. Yeah, we got to get the movie out. I mean, what the hell? The goddamn freaking, you don't have a single freaking postcard? What the, how much use? Whoops, wait. What the hell is this? Put this away. You don't just, this is, wait. All right, this is going out tomorrow to her. So, all right, just put this someplace. Where's the postcard? That's a fucking Christmas card, you idiot. It's fucking September. It was August. How come you guys don't? Is that it? Hold on 1 second. I found it. Oh, I didn't know. Then I haven't. No, Evie, how could I, if I had not been to Australia, I could not have possibly have seen that house. So no, since I haven't been down under as of yet, no, I have not seen that. Yeah, David, and sell your cool ass book. Thanks, Jacqueline. Yes, you too can own a copy of Ghost of Cielo Drive, available at ghostofcielodrive.com. This is my Jim Carrey voice, letting you know that this is the book you want to have for this winter. You want to cuddle up by a nice, juicy fire and read this book. That's right. It's a good book. It's a good, keep you warm and intrigued book about the paranormal. All from these fucking ghosts here at the Oman House. So while you're at it, go grab yourself a copy of Ghosts of Cielo Drive. That's right, Ghosts of Cielo Drive. That's the name. Don't misspell it. .com. What's this Corey crap talk I keep hearing about? I don't know. I looked at the date on the video, even though it said it was posted a day ago. It says it's from May 2025, but I don't know how to share the links, so I'm trying. Well, Ghost, you can do is as you're typing this, copy, Control-C, like highlight that link, put the cursor mark over it, then hit Control-C, which is copy. Then put in the chat thing. I don't type thing, type chunk. I don't want just that. I want not you. God damn, thank you, ass wipers. Thing is all set up wrong. I'm like, why am I reading information I shouldn't be reading? So that's how you do it. And then Control V in the chat line, and you'll be able to share it that way. What is with this Corey crap? They sell churches in my country. Wow, Evie, that's terrific. Here they sell salvation in my country. Go figure. Les, get this through your head. I don't give a flying F-U-C-K about him. And if you mention him one more time, ain't going to be for this, the 10, 15, it'll be the whole night. So give it a rest. He could suck Michael Jackson's dick. You got that, Les? I don't care. I'm really getting tired of this, Les. One more, and that's it. Yeah, Tom Zenner was here. Yes, Ghost. That's, yeah. No, I don't mind him less wanting to promote the movie. It's that he's trying to promote C, and I can't stand it. Yeah, that's who was here. Yeah, they were fun. No, she doesn't have to see anything of the sort there, Les, because there's nothing to see. And worst of all, there's nothing to hear. Got it? There's nothing there. It's washed out with the tides. Let that be the case, Annie. Not going to visit this house. Oh shit, Ghost. No, but that's okay. If it's Zenner, yes, Tom was here. Yes, I'm friends with. I like Tom. He's a nice guy. Cat ball is right here. It is on. It is on. So you can see it now. Evie, very well said. Very well put. Oh my God. I don't need to hear another word from anybody about him ever again. I can't stand it. It's just terrible. We're discussing this. It's just beyond repair. But like I was going to say, I do want you to pick up on this information. That's the information you need to know. Watch the movie, rent the movie, tell your friends to rent the movie, tell them to tell their friends to rent the movie, and tell them to tell their friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to rent the movie. That's right. www.house@theendofthedrive.bhx.tv. And of course, you subscribe to my channel here. If you don't, what the hell are you doing here? And follow me on Twitter and, of course, on TikTok as TheOmanHouse_. There you go. So, cannot help himself in his own career. How could he possibly help? Thanks, Annie. That was the funniest I've read. Is what Annie just posted. I don't want to repeat it because it's so funny. Yes, Pat, tell him that. Pat, tell him all that to please understand, because then he understands it's not me. Yes, put the like button. Hey, RXB. I'm sorry, I'm reading what Ghost just said. Well, I guess thank you for mentioning my house. His response is a little bit interesting, to say the least. He might visit you one day. I hope before he dies, that's for sure. And I hope he has some type of figuring on how to get in touch with me before he just pops up at the front door and says, "Hi, I'm such and such from this TV show." I'm going to go, yeah, I don't watch. My first initial response is, yeah, I don't watch TV. So, who, what? Okay. Never, what is the old saying goes, never heard of you. Don't watch TV. Who the hell are you? Don't care either. Not much interest to me. I just want to know what the hell you doing ringing my doorbell unannounced. You see, I'm not prone to opening the door to people that I generally don't know. Not in this day and age. Seventh-day Adventists or anybody else the likes of that. I just do not bother opening my fucking door. And yet you seem to think that you have the wow and all the world to just pop on over and just drop on in unannounced and say, "Hi, I'm here. I'm on this TV show." Like I'm supposed to roll over on my back like I'm some kind of a dog and like say, "Scratch me, please." I do not declare that is of any interest to me. He still has black ponytail and, oh boy, God. Yeah, Annie, we all grew up though, didn't we? Hi, RX8, sexy. John, that is the funniest thing I've ever read. No, I have not spoke to Scott on tape. I think he's still pissed off. About what his unhappiness derives from, I have no idea. I don't bother him. You know, he'll pop up when he needs me. Hey, Audra, how are you? Thank you, Audra. Well, tis the first day of fall, so I fell out of the sky and grabbed this on my way out of it, the clouds. Concern, what do you mean something wicked this way comes? You mean the original from the original Disney movie they made years ago, from like 40 some odd years ago? Great movie. Scary as hell. Do Sling Blade? I need to hear yep, I got it. Give me a second there. I gotta get into the mindset. Yep. What are you all doing tonight? Are you watching me for some particular reason? I don't even know what I'm. Yeah. Excuse me. I said, excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Is there something I can do for you all? Yep. I don't know. That's not exactly Sling Blade. It's more I don't know. No, Danny, you didn't miss anything with me and Sky. I just haven't spoken to him, that's all. Yeah, I need to hear it before I can do my impersonation of it or my version of it or something. Sky takes asks this because he's going to subscribe because he's kidding me. Yeah, I saw that video. I unsubscribed and subscribed. You know, I don't know. I had an itchy nose and I got a noise on the side. I like biscuits with mustard on them. I like biscuits. I said I gotta listen to the banter, the pedantic banter there, so I can get a sense of what I'm trying to do. It's easy to do the slow talk, but it's different. Annie, wonder if we ask questions, the spirit would be willing to answer. How are they going to answer, Sonny? While you make that questionable commentary, I'm trying to figure out how they would answer, though. Yeah, ask away. I have no idea. You know, I don't know if you're going to get an answer as you're looking for, but what a concern. St. Bradbury Theater is an awesome series. Oh, I don't even know about that. I gotta fix the problem. Call my house. Put me on speaker and we'll ask the questions to your chat. Ghost, you're not. It's not the posing of the questions. It's how are they going to respond? That's my point. You guys are missing it. 115 days to Christmas. Holy crap. More importantly, deal with freaking Halloween, Thanksgiving first before you go run off to Christmas. Jesus Christ. Everybody's a gosh darn. I'm a holiday person. I love this holiday. I hang my hopes on that holiday. And then after that holiday, I start taking like a rope and I start reeling in the rope and grabbing. Every day is one day closer to that holiday again. I said, what a way to live your life. Then when you're all disappointed when the holiday comes and goes, you're sitting there for the next 364 days after the holiday going, I have to wait for the next year's holiday. I got to wait for the next year's holiday. Let me give you guys some freaking information that you guys have all lost somewhere along the fucking way. Halloween, October 31st. Thanksgiving, third Thursday of fucking November. Christmas, the 25th of December. The 1st of January, New Year's Eve. April sometime is gosh darn freaking is Easter. 4th of July is the 4th of fucking July. That's it, kids. Deal with it. Meaning live in the present moment, not live in, I have to wait for Halloween. Oh my God, it's 300 days. Oh my God, it's 200 days. Oh my God, it's only 60 days. Oh my God, it's only 37 days. Oh my God, stop it. The fact that we've turned Halloween into a 365-day-a-year fucking holiday, and I mean Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. I'm sorry. Come up with a freaking new name and slogan when it's not Halloween in the middle of goddamn summer and you're pushing like it is. God damn, I'm so infuriated by this crap. It's unbelievable. All right, Les, I told you. I told you. I told you last week you don't mention the stupid son of a bitch, and you did. I told you I'm not going to fucking stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not standing for it. I'm not standing for it. I'm not. I told you no. You had to do it. You just couldn't play right, play nice. Dana, you can post your questions and I can ask them here. It's not going to make a difference if I call somebody's mentioned. That doesn't even make sense. Let's just stop right there. I'm not ready for Christmas. I'm ready for Thanksgiving, and I have to sit on my ass and wait for turkeys. So stop it. God. Good night, Virginia. Make a bark. Make a bark. What is a bark? You mean a barbecue there, Evie? The weather is some places you can pick up. A lot of people still push Halloween, and I get so tired of it. It's just what? No, Ghost. What was the good? I have to catch up to what his joke was. Look back, look back, look back. Where the hell is his goddamn joke? I wish you could just refer to the comments. No. Pat, Ghost. Joke was to call me so. Joke was to call me so I can talk to the ghosts. Oh. You know what month you can count, David? Without sex months. Dana, let's not get personal, shall we? You need a spanking more than you know. I've seen your pictures. You definitely need a good, solid spanking. Unbelievable. I push Christmas. I don't care what fucking holiday anybody pushes. I don't care if it's for Christmas, for New Year's, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving. Deal with the fact that you have it once a year, enjoy it, and stop being so gosh darn hooked that it's the one time of year you're going to enjoy yourselves and you make it out to seem like that. And I look around and go, what the fuck? It's July and they're talking Halloween. What the fuck? We're trying to enjoy summer, but you guys are talking about the middle of frickin' fall and Halloween. I'm sorry, is there something I'm missing here about the idea that we should enjoy that holiday once it rolls around and not have it on our minds for 364 days of the year outside of the holiday? I think not. Well, thanks, Concerned. I didn't know what you loved me about, but okay. You get the point. It's just, I mean, how much can you overextend yourself and not live in the moment instead of living in the future? It's like, it's almost Halloween, it's almost Halloween, it's almost Halloween. And then when it happens, it's like if it fucks up, because things like this in life really have a problem or have a habit of messing up. When you have such great expectations, you build it up, and it doesn't measure up quite to the level that you want it to be. You're deflated because it didn't match what your envisioned dream of happening. It's called disappointment. And since I've been through that in past years, why put so much effort? Here's my example. I wait. This is what I used to do. It's goddamn September. late August. I'm a diehard UCLA fan, as you guys all very well know, especially with football. And I look forward to that time of year. And then every year I get freaking miserably disappointed. Well, happy birthday to your son, Evie. From them to your son as well. And also, yeah, about what I'm about to say about UCLA. I am completely bemoansed and disappointed and extremely upset. And I have to reset and recalibrate my fan desire for my team to win. And Tampa Dancing, it's going to be another shitty losing year. And it's not going to be like look forward to Saturday as I usually do, because it's going to be a miserable Sunday because it was a miserable Saturday afternoon or evening that's going to leave me with a terribly unhappy Sunday because my team will have again taken a shellacking. Dana Brooks is an angel. Like, how would you know RX8? You need a P.O. box so we can send you stuff. I have a P.O. box, but I don't want you to send me stuff. Thank you, RX8. Love you too. Yeah, Dana, you don't know. I'm just going here with this shop. Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely, Evie. I love horror and Halloween, but I'm not ready for summer to end yet. And the trees are already changing colors in New Hampshire. Well, you're lucky, Matt. Out here, there's nothing of the sort. We don't have changing of the colors. We have trees and we have leaves, and then we have trees with no leaves, and that's it. There's no in between. Hey, Brian. Is it Dana? Are you lying, Dana? Are you telling me the truth? Oh shit! And I called Tom and I told him that. Hello? Fine, how are you, Tim? I was wrong. The person was wrong. They were talking about Tom, what's his face, who was here in May. That's the video was up. It's like I said, yeah, it'd be a little soon for Tim Roddy to get the gosh darn video out that quickly. Jesus Christ. So well, of course not. That's why I figured it didn't sound right. But it's like Tom. Who the first Tom? It's like Tom Zenner. Not that's what he was talking. I said he said this was the weekend. I said, well, yeah, Tim Roddy's podcast, and Tim was here this weekend with Gag, the Gays and Ghosts group, and they left their goddamn script here. By the way, I've got their script. They left. I'm like, what the hell's the script for? I said, I don't need this. I said, it's fun to read, but. Yeah. And I still want to see if they want to come back and see the movie, and if they know anybody that can do anything with the movie. Oh, no, it was great. It was a fun time. It was a hoot. The house was active as hell. Shit. I was like, wow, this is good night. This is a good night. This is a good night. So. Yeah, Kay and Kelly and Chris and Max were like, yeah, the house is hot because they said when your friend's getting here because we want to let them see this too, So she comes now and then, like I said, she wanted to come out that night, and I said no, we've got to do some work on the TikTok, so that's why she came out. So they were doing some promotion for me on that, but yeah. But I'm glad you guys came. And like I said, I'm glad you guys came and had a good time. It was a very lively, lively evening, to say the least, especially when he got grabbed by the arm and they showed it on the thermal imaging camera. Yeah. Let me know when you want to come back, obviously, bring some other people, especially your friend, the psychic. I want to meet her and see what she comes up with. Yeah, I'm sure. And like I said, whoever was there this time Got to see who brought up the activity this weekend because it was just unheard of. Yeah, I think so. So just like I said, let me know. I've got the people from Minnesota Association of Paranormal Studies coming out on Saturday night, and they're going to spend the night. I said, yeah, guys, spend the night here instead of a hotel room for one night. And I said, to make a video of that. So they're going to do that. Yeah. So they're going to end up, instead of a hotel, they'll pay to stay here. It's like, fine, it makes more sense, better than staying till 11 or 12 or 2 and then leaving. It's like, well, house is all hot. Why don't you keep shooting? I said, yeah. So that's what they're going to do. Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I don't know how much sleep they're going to get, but it'll certainly be interesting to see what they come up with. Well, go do your thing. Have a good night, and thanks for calling me back, and I'll talk to you later then. All right, I'll talk to you soon then. All right, bye-bye. That was Tim Roddy, because you guys told me that it was he that was calling. That was you guys. What the hell is this then? Oh, this. All right, fine. This is a screwed up job. Screwed up by this. You can't see that, can you? God, that light is so bright. I screwed up the signature, the autograph on it, so. Ring the bell if you'd like the case. Jesus, Sonny. They don't have to ring the bell. They certainly must have because they had a great time with him and visiting here. They had, they grabbed him and they saw it on the thermal imaging camera. No, Dana, they're not. I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry for both of your losses, you and Matt. Evie, I don't conform to stupid shit. I will say what I want. Oh, what do you? I'm telling you, Pat, it sucks. It's just this season is just starting out so bad, and I'm just like, who is that bloke? I don't know him. That's a friend of mine that was here this weekend. He has his own podcast, Tim Roddy. He's been here a few times. Yeah, well, Brian, so do I, and I'm just like, I guess you get beaten down so many years in a row, and you have such great expectations, and then you live through 6 pathetic, lame years of Chip. You can lose again, Kelly. You really don't look forward to fall. It's the worst. Where is your superstar? Isn't she usually on here? Who's my superstar, Dana? Who's the superstar, Dana? Well, thank God, Annie. I'm glad you guys are getting along again. Yeah, Pat, I'm sure he would. Let's not even go there, Pat. It's so just disheartening. Just so disheartening to watch what I watched this weekend. And now that there's NIL and the amount of money they paid for this new kid as quarterback, and the other kid, Aguilar, ended up departing and going to the University of Tennessee, and him doing such a spectacular job. And I said, it used to be that you never started a freshman freaking quarterback, and they had to sit on the gosh darn bench, and basically for freaking 1 year, 2 years, they're not starting, they're sitting. Doesn't matter if they're the tops, dogs, whatever. They sit because they're freshmen, and they have to learn the regime, and they're coming in from high school. They have to learn. Nowadays, These kids want, demand, and expect to start as freshmen. And it's stupid and sad, and we've really created a dynamic where people haven't got the will or the patience to sit and to warm the bench for a year or to deal with it and wait for their time to come. They want and expect it right now because the accolades that have been provided to them by these so-called minds of the geniuses of the college football schemes and rating them and giving them the top 300 in ESPN, when in fact, a lot of these kids haven't seen the light of day of true competition outside of their limited sources of where they've played and who they've played against. And once they get to the next level, they are butchered and taught humility the unfortunate way, which is you learn through painful experience that you were a big fish in a small pond. Now you're in a big ocean or a big lake, and you're not the biggest fish. Hey, Reg. So that's what I just have a problem with. I think that the game has turned into an absolute abomination with the way it's done. And the way UCLA has been managed is just pathetic. And Martin Jarman can jump off a cliff and leave the planet as far as I'm concerned, because he's mismanaged UCLA athletics in the time that he's been there, and he's been an absolute abomination and an absolute unmitigated disaster. The fact that somebody will scream, oh, he got the Nike deal. Oh, he got us into the Big Ten. It's like, what has he done besides those two things, which are just icing on the cake when the cake itself is rotten to the core? Who cares? Fan support has dropped to an abysmal state. So it's just really, I don't know her handle name there, Dana. I forgot. Do you know if Snoop Dogg is coming to Australia? Evie, how the hell would Annie know crap about Snoop Dogg's schedule? First of all, you're on the internet, right there, Evie, at your fingertips. When we close the show, you can certainly go look up Snoop Dogg's schedule coming to Australia. But asking a random person on the gosh darn pod on the show, that really doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. I'm sorry, unless we know for a fact that that's it's true, Annie. They are, and the humility. He couldn't sit himself down and wait for this guy to pander out. Because if he peters out, Aguilar goes in. But no, I have to be first. I have to be the chosen one. It's like, sit your dumb little ass down and just table it. You're going to learn. You're not going to jump in the fray as being a little minnow in the middle of the ocean, because you'll get eaten the hell up and beaten the hell up. And the competition is nothing compared to your high school team, because this, where there was 1,000 high school kids, this is now delineated down to 250 college kids. And these are much tougher players than what you're expected that you've played with before in your high school days. Same thing as they say, you level up. As you go to the next level, it gets more difficult. The competition level goes up, up, up. So ridiculous. Sorry, Rustic. I'm just trying to catch up and read what's being said. Oh God, Evie, go look it up and find out. You'll get a much better answer, and it's probably a truer one than that. Yeah, Boise State's got quite the fan base, Pat. Quite the fan base. Look, when you go out on a limb and you make your gosh darn football field blue and orange, you've made a statement that you want people to notice you. And good for Boise, God bless them, why not? There's not a hell of a lot of things to do out in Boise outside of, growing the potatoes out there and having what you do out there in Boise. It is a center of attention. Why not? God bless them. Yes, Evie, I live in the USA. But again, Evie, the internet is worldwide. You can find out from Snoop Dogg's website what his tour schedule is. That's what I said. I'm not asking. Not Evie, it's still going to be on his website. That would be the best source of resource for you to find the information, is all I'm saying. God damn. I know this one's here, but I should do a video. If you have any photos of your family and what you said to do as a kid. No, Ghost, I won't do that. I'm sorry. That's just for what purpose? That is never going to be divulged. I'm sorry. I just have no interest in doing that. For what purpose? To what ends does that benefit? No. Not in this day and age. Hell no. No, Kathy, I understand. I'm surprised you're not a Longhorns fan. They did a great job against, that's right, they lost. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's what support, Pad, what support? UCLA has no support. People are not going to the games. Hey, Rob. Yeah, kind of, sort of, especially with AI stuff. I wouldn't do that. Oh, Snickers all the way. I want Snickers. I don't want some gosh darn chocolate and minty flavor blowing up in my mouth with the York peppermint patty. Hello, Mr. Beckham. Nice to see you here. All right, it's late. I gotta feed the doggy. I gotta get some food myself and decide what I'm gonna do for that. Been a fun night. Covered 47. Now, I'm leaving when we're at the top. A Snickers sounds good right now. Well, Snickers would be delicious because you want something that's going to be filling. Your peppermint patty's not going to fill you up with anything but a clean, fresh, minty mouth, fresh. I can feel it. No thanks. That's not going to fill me up anything. How think you during the anniversary? That's what I said. Well, Matt, if you can see the goddamn 9 hours of the footage, it's still there on YouTube. Since we ended up having to go live to YouTube because the gosh darn feed from, I forgot the name of the service, but if I did tell you, I'd tell you don't go use them. But it's up there on my channel, so you can look at it. It's under August 8th. It's under August 8th. You can see it. It's just a couple videos ago. It was a fun night. It was an interesting night, very active. Dana's getting hit on. I have 2 Aggies. Oh, that's why, Kathy. All right, I got it. Twix. Very funny, Sean. Bye, Rustic. Take care. Get a good night's sleep. Yeah. Les is gone. That's the other reason why I want to get off. I don't want Les to come back on. Oh, God. It's been a nice, fun night. Rob, I'm glad you found that interesting and funny. Black liquor. Ugh. Great, I'm starving. Now I don't have the appetite I once did because of the idea of black licorice. In any event, you guys have yourself a good night. Again, please help me. You don't have to share. You don't have to donate. You're never going to anyways, but do this. Rent this movie. That's right. And not only you rent it, tell your friends to rent it. House at the End of the Drive. God, it's where they died. You can also go to houseattheendofthedrive.com, and there's a link right below the entrance at the top of the page that shows you houseattheendofthedrive.bhx.tv, which is the actual link. It's $3.99 for a 3-day rental. Dana, it figures you would contradict what I asked you to do, but excuse me, that's okay. I know you well enough to know that you do that off the bat. Like I said, watch the movie. Here's the links to where to go. God, I might go to Jack in the Box. I don't know. Go get a copy of the book as well. Yeah, when they do Sunday, I will. Obviously, I'll incorporate that into something that I'll post. Thank you very much. Again, I didn't want to overdo it, and I figured 6 o'clock is good because you guys get to watch it on the East Coast early and it doesn't go too late. And I hate to say it screws the people in the UK out terribly because it puts it at 2 a.m. So thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Like I said, I will see you guys later, and hopefully I will soon enough be able to take you around the house with a laptop, since I just bought this new 2K camera that seems to look much better than the original stuff that we had before. So in any event, you guys have a good night. Again, watch the movie, rent the movie, buy the book, tell your friends, etc. Was going to say to Kathy, I think it was, if I can find that. Yes, Kathy, take care of yourself. If you come out to LA and you want to see the house, obviously get in touch through one of my websites, ghostsofcielodrive.com or House at the End of the Drive, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you all again. Have a very, very good Labor Day night, and take care. See you guys later.